Hello, welcome to the program. The topic today we are going to talk is nothing new. This topic is written, talked, preached by so many people for thousands and thousands of years. But what is interesting today is we have a youth with us who is going to talk about this and will enlighten us about this topic. The guest of the evening today is Maitreyi, who is a body, emotion, mind trainer and the founder of Archaea Awareness Center. She is trained in yoga. She is a Reiki master. Also, she is a writer and filmmaker. She also has a degree in visual communication and worked for a lot of national and international companies. Welcome you, man, to the program.
Well,
looking at your resume, like you are into writing, filmmaking, yoga, Reiki. Out of all these things, the yoga and Reiki, it seems kind of odd looking at your age.
okay.
It is always assumed, retirement people of old age, sages, they only can talk about it. What exactly happened in your life and how did you get into this?
Okay, actually it's quite a misconception. Most people are very surprised when they see somebody of my age. By the way, I'm not too young, but young enough to start off on a lifestyle of health. So most people are surprised when they look at me, and they usually think that it is for somebody who is above 50, who's finished all responsibilities in life. And it is quite a misnomer, because when we have to start sowing seeds, we have to do that at a younger age so that we can reap the benefits later on. So if we start sowing a lot of muck or a lot of weeds when we're younger, those are the weeds that we're going to reap later. So we have to be very aware as to where we want our life to move. That is very, very important. So I started questioning a lot of things in my life. Where do I want my life to move? And there was a certain time in my life where I prioritized a lot of things. So though the filmmaking or the advertisements were going or doing very, very well, I decided that that was not all that I wanted out of life, which means money, a little bit of fame, a lot of excitement, because there's a lot of creativity and a lot of things that I was coming up with, ideating, filmmaking, all that it's very, very exciting. But apart from the excitement, you also realize that it's a very quick high.
Correct.
So there is a high and then there is a low also, there is a drop also in that high. So there's this constant need for this roller coaster ride in your life. So I said, okay, fine, I need more of a stable ground. And yoga provides that stable ground. Whatever the situation in life, you look at the situation and say, okay, I have to adopt the right attitudes towards life. And also build a lot of the right patterns or right conditioning. So which means you develop a healthy way of living with respect to your body. So you take care of the body, give it a healthy diet, also see to it that your posture is in balance. Also the emotions, you're looking at how you process emotions, and then we move on to the mind. So we're looking at our attitudes also towards life.
Any human being, like we can divide the human being into two bodies. One is the gross body and subtle body. Whatever we're talking, the mind, intelligence and ego, these are the subtle. If the gross body has any suffering, we can go to the doctor, but nobody knows what to do with the subtle body. So what is your idea about the body, mind, emotion, how they are interlinked, how they can be balanced?
Even doctors, I'm talking of allopathic doctors, they are talking of psychosomatic diseases. So they say if the mind is not in line, or let's say it's agitated, worried, or there is lots of anger in the system, then it gets suppressed and it starts affecting the organs. So the emotional or the mental disturbance actually affects the body. So this can happen vice versa also. What we're doing is, in yoga, we're working on this connection between the body, emotions and mind. We're working on the body consciously. We're working on the breath consciously. So the key here is consciousness. So consciously we apply the mind to the body, we apply the mind to the breath, so that we may change or alter something. We usually get into loops or patterns of behavior. Maybe you have a pattern of waking up at 8 o'clock in the morning, a pattern of eating lots of junk food, a pattern of getting very, very irritated if your boss gives you even probably normal criticism. You'll say, who is he to, like, you know,
Correct.
tell me all these things. So you're looking or you're observing yourself and saying, okay, let me change this slightly. So how do I change? Now the question is, again, we come to the subconscious mind. And we treat the subconscious mind, or the subconscious mind in itself is like a child. So we don't get agitated with it, and we don't say, oh, you're a bad person and, you know, you're never going to improve hereafter. But you be a little patient with the subconscious mind like you are with a child, and you communicate with the subconscious mind like you do to a child, which means through body language, which means through sound. That is how you communicate to a child. You don't communicate with Shakespearean English. So all these simple techniques, though they seem, oh, what am I doing in yoga, lifting or stretching, you know, making all these funny sounds, because a lot of my students, they come to class and they're made to do a lot of funny things and they're wondering why they're doing it. So once they understand that this is a means of communicating to the subconscious mind, by creating this communication between the conscious and the subconscious, then they are a lot more open to doing funny stuff.
The yoga, body, mind, emotion. You know, if it is so much valuable, you know, it has to be attended. Why people fail taking care of it? Excuse me.
See, what is happening in today's environment is whatever is given a lot more publicity is what is attended to. So if you are watching an advertisement and your peer group or whatever is there in the minds of many people, let's say success to you means having a Mercedes, or success to you means whatever, being CEO of a company. That is what you're going to focus on. You're not going to focus on the mind, you're not going to focus on the body, you're not going to focus on the emotions. Yes, even to become a CEO or to have your Mercedes, you need to use the mind, but you use it in one particular direction. So here the focus is inwards. You're saying, yes, first I'll stabilize myself, I'll be content or cultivate a habit of contentment, and then I can always improve on the material or the financial or the emotional growth that I want to.
Today, yoga is picking up, you know, in every walks of life. People claim, you know, they go to yoga, they do meditation, you know, it becomes like a membership in any professional club.
Okay.
But you feel you have realized the value of it and you are also teaching it. What is the right way of using this tool?
Okay. In the beginning, I guess it's okay because it's a very fashion-driven society. So if people say, okay, it's fashionable to do yoga, or everybody is talking about yoga, pop stars, politicians, everybody is doing it, so something must, you know, be right about this system because so many people are endorsing it. And I guess it's a good publicity for yoga in that sense. But if you look at yoga in its essence, you're going in it because you as a human being have this need to move deeper into yourself. You don't want to stay on the surface and say, okay, fine, you know, I've got some degree, I've got, you know, something out of life. But you start questioning yourself and saying, I want a little bit more. So it starts with that amount of questioning. And also the application of free will. Because as human beings, that's the greatest gift we've got.
Right.
The gift of free will. So if you look at a lion, it's not going to suddenly decide, I'm going to become a vegetarian. It's born with a particular lifestyle pattern and it dies with a particular lifestyle pattern. But as human beings, we can make choices about our lives. Do I want to have junk food or do I want to have healthy foods? Is this what I want out of life? Can I improve upon myself? Maybe my the way I communicate, maybe the way I relate to human beings, maybe my respect for elders. So there are many changes that we can bring about in ourselves. And yoga is about positive change.
Right.